Well, here we are in beautiful Sydney. What a harbour. The Three Sisters. The views are incredible. It is truly a special part of the world. Kerry Potash joins me in commentary. Wow, you live in a really nice part of the world, Kez.
We're very fortunate to have the FIVB World Beach Volleyball Tour here on Manly Beach in Sydney. We are definitely beach volleyball lovers here on Manly Beach. We have 8 permanent courts here. They're always full of players. You have to stick your thong, your flip-flop in the court next to the post to be next in line. As soon as somebody's lost, you're on the court, so it's always a battle. And when I coach people out here during the week, I have to get out at 6 a.m. to get a court. So
yeah, absolutely.
We're the lovers of beach volleyball, no doubt, and you can see them all there on the boardwalk, in the stands, in the corporate boxes, young and old.
Good-looking people. I'm sure they're watching us on that device, I hope. Well, we are nearly ready, folks, to go for the gold medal match. We've just seen the USA defeat Australia for the bronze. It will be Canada versus France for the men's gold medal at the FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball here on Manly Beach. My name is Jonathan Fogarty. Joining me in commentary, the fabulous Kerry Potash, and Mr. Randy Stoklos is down on the sand. He's about to hand out the match ball. We'll come to him in a little while, but it's been a really great week, and we've still got tomorrow, of course, is the ladies. But now it's the sharp end, it's the pointy end. The two best teams, France and Canada, about to come on out, and this crowd here in Manly, and the corporates are here in big numbers. Here comes Grant O'Gorman. He will wear the #1. Partner Ben Saxton, the Olympian.
And they were both incredible in their semi-final. Real tussle to come through, beat the USA in the semi-final to make it through to this match. And these boys, the French, they beat the Aussies in the semi, and they got their place today in this final. Absolutely.
Yusuf Crew, the #1. He does most of the defence, and his very tall partner, Quincy I, does most of the blocking, but they're a dynamic team. They're a bit unpredictable. The big lefty from France, he looks a little bit ungainly. But there it is, the matchup, the men's gold medal match. This will be a delight. The Canadian combination of Saxton and O'Gorman up against the French combination, Crew and A. Right here at beautiful Manly Beach, Saturday afternoon special. And the crowd in big numbers. The match ball handed out by Mr. Randy Stoklos, so all is in readiness. France in the red, Canada in the black. It is O'Gorman for Canada. Best of 3 sets. The gold medal match underway.
Nice fast hit through the middle to take the first point for France. In this kind of mottled lighting, there's a lot of shade from the trees, from some of the commentary area. Neither of the players are wearing glasses at this point. They're preferring to see with a clear eyesight without that lens.
Folks, we played best of 3 sets, so you win 2 sets, you win the match, you win the gold medal, you win it all. We play point per rally. Every time a ball is served, someone gets a point, so service errors can cost a lot. Second ball play, put down hard, put down well. Quincy A, the big lefty, something about a left-hander playing on the right side. I'm a big fan. A left-right combination just feels like a really nice balance to me, Kez.
It's so difficult to block a left-hander as it is to play against a left-hander in tennis or any other sport, a left footer. It's always a little bit awkward.
Oh, this is an interesting call. So the ball wiped off. I don't think Yusuf agrees, but I've never seen them really agree on those calls. When the two athletes come together on the ball and both push on it, the ball goes out. The first referee's got to decide who touched it last. Whoever touched it last is deemed to have put the ball out. Canada getting the benefit of that decision. So 2 points all, high roll shot. O'Gorman gobbles it up. This should be an interesting play. Well, that is a real big play. O'Gorman just letting them know, an extra swagger, a side of extra swagger from O'Gorman on the back of that. Just letting them know, if you're going to hit a high roll shot over my boy, you're going to have to do a little bit better than that. Wonderful, up and down. The athleticism to get back out of the sand, Kez.
Textbook defense, really laying down and just putting his arm out. See if he can get another one. And he does. Takes his time, has a look to see what's going on the other side, sees the open court and just touches it for a winner.
And gets the double whack from his partner right on his French or his Canadian derriere, I beg your pardon. So 4-2 O'Gorman. He loved him after his semi-final. It was about 32 degrees in the sand. And he said, it's just like Montreal out there, which I think we both...
Toronto, I think
Toronto, I beg your pardon. I think we both know that that was a joke. That's a nice play. Gutsy.
It does get hot there sometimes, John. It does. It gets really, really hot. Of course, it gets really, really cold as well.
Yeah, it certainly does.
And it'll be a little bit like this morning's game. They're both these guys, they played semi-final in the heat of the sun. It was probably 25 around the sides, but 35 inside the court. Whereas now it's quite shady. It's cooled down, definitely. The air temperature's cooled down a lot, so they're going to be much more at home in these conditions, both teams, I think.
All right, 3-4 France trailing by 1, make that trail by 2 now. That is the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympian in Ben Saxton. Very experienced. Doesn't get too excited, plays with a nice, easy composure. He'll come in and block. There's an opportunity for O'Gorman to turn that around off the block again. So that is ambitious hand setting from the French. He was in okay position, but I think his legs went out from under him, and that's a really big throw, Kerry.
Yeah, in the past with the other rule where off the block, that's counted as a touch. There's a second touch that normally would have had to go over, but we're trialling this new rule where you can have a fourth touch, but it just didn't work for him. Maybe standing up doing it would have been better.
I think so. I don't understand the use case for that option. But anyway, that ball begging for a touch off the block. He won't like it. I'm pretty sure Yusuf Krug does not agree. I want to play poker with this guy because I reckon I know what he's thinking. I will take him to the cleaners, but that ball, he's asking for it to come off the block. I don't see a touch there.
I think his own spiking hand hit Ben Saxton's hand. Might have felt like the ball was going to come off, but who knows.
So we're in a timeout. Stokey, how do you see the first exchanges?
Well, I saw that Ben Saxton is so honest that he would have stood there and given that touch call. So that must have been a non-touch call. Point goes to Canada. But this is going to be the battle of the big men. Obviously, the blockers at the net are going to try to dominate and shut down the smaller guys. Look for O'Gorman to really battle at the net and win those jousts. And I love how he does that wipe-off. Does it better than anybody out here right now.
Oh, there it is. You heard it. The wipe-off is that play, folks, when the ball's in front of the blocker's hands and the attacking player just kind of schmoozes it off the hands, schmears it away.
Schmoozes and schmears. Very volleyball technical terms.
They're words in my vernacular, Kerry. No one else's, unfortunately. It is Grant O'Gorman on screen at the moment wearing the #1, wearing the Hancock Prospecting #1 jersey for Canada, and Quincy A looking focused, looking composed. We are ready to go. It is Ben Saxton. He's got the ball. That's really all that matters. You have got one job as the server, and that is to relax and focus and pick your spot and execute on it. So Canada 7-3. It's a good lead. France getting emotional early on a few calls. They're calling the timeout to give themselves a chance to reset their heads. Great battle at the net. Saxton felt that he could have had a play on that one, but Yusuf Krug gets it down. So
that was some crazy angle that Krug got. This is a good set, nice and tight. Gorman's there, but watch this angle that Krug gets. How does it? Oh, it comes off the block. Saxton has a bit of a touch on it, but
nice play indeed. 4-7 France trail by 3. They're going to go at O'Gorman. He's going to have a good look at this one. The court opened up for him, but he picked out the defender. So the lefty from the left side goes hard at them and gets it done. So the crowd like that. They're a knowledgeable crowd. They're a wise crowd. They're a healthy looking crowd here in Manly. I don't know what's going on in Manly, Kerry.
There are plenty of French people in Manly. I can say that too. I have quite a few French friends, so they'll be cheering loudly for the guys in red. Yeah, I'm married to a Canadian,
I was going to say,
he'll be cheering for the guys in black.
Yeah, I know who he's going for, the wonderful Max. All right, so the Canadians in black, French in red. This is the gold medal match, folks. I hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever in the volleyverse you are. We are here on Manly Beach, the gold medal Canada versus France. Two charismatic and interesting teams. May you live in interesting times. That is an interesting dig from Yusuf Krug. Folks, for him to legally get that ball back into play, it has to travel across the net, but between the two antenna, there was no angle there. I don't know how he almost got it into play.
Yeah.
think he jumped on Randy Stokloss's shoulders to make a play. I couldn't quite see what happened. So had it a 9-5. O'Gorman. Something about him. He's got an on-court charisma. O'Gorman, hasn't he? There's something.
It's his
very
energy.
Watchable.
Yeah. Although he was exhausted in the semi-final in the heat, he still had this energy about him in between points. Maybe it's the hair or his smile or just, you know, like you said, his swagger. I think that goes a long way when you're having to support your partner and get a little bit out of your partner to just keep on bringing the energy to the court.
Absolutely. I'm inspired to rock that beard hair combo myself. I'm going to start tomorrow. Thank you, Grant O'Gorman. But it is France with the ball, 6-9. Youssef Crew serving it up, staying deep in defence, down on his haunches. I found that interesting about Crew, the Frenchman in the #1 jersey. His serve reception technique, he's almost squatting on the ground. He would get very, very low. And over the course of a long game, his quads must be super fit because I'd imagine the lactic acid and the stress that's putting through your legs, we might see it later, but he really gets in this incredible serve-receive position. Doesn't help him on this occasion, though. Off she goes, off a shank. So 11-6 Canada. Looking pretty good.
See his little smile there, O'Gorman. He likes it. He's cheering the crowd on.
It's funny, some athletes, I know which category you're in, but some athletes really want to go to the crowd and get energy back, and others just completely tune them out. You were very aware of the crowd and what was going on, and you used it to your advantage, Kerry.
Well, we did as a team, yes. I wasn't one that was always cheering on with the crowd. I was trying to stay focused. If I got too involved with what was going on around me, I lost my focus. So you'll see different players have different kind of personalities like that. I know Natalie Cook was always orchestrating the crowd, waving her arms in the air. She loved it. She fed off that energy. So she was the orchestrator in our team.
Absolutely. Your gold medal playing partner in 2000.
That's
she was great at getting the crowd into the game. Made our job very simple. So nice roll shot, Youssef Crew. Wherever you're watching, hope you're enjoying the coverage. The team in red, that is the French combination Crew and A against Ben Saxton and Grant O'Gorman. Of course, Ben Saxton, as we said, an Olympian. Gets to call himself Ben Saxton, OLY now, which is a wonderful decision they've made. Kerry Pothast, OLY. You can now put that three-letter
post-nominal letters after your name. You might have a PhD or an MD or I don't know.
NFI, I don't know. You can now say OLY.
You can say OLY if you're an Olympian.
Yeah.
Which is quite an honour because every 4 years there's only a certain amount of Olympians that make it through. So, you know, out of Australians, there are 500 or so athletes that get to go to the Olympics.
Well, here's a man who sadly never got to go to Olympic Games. He's done so much for the sport. Of the technical timeout, Canada-France 14-7. Randy, Canada look to be very comfortable right now.
Canada is very, very comfortable right now. I must say, the French have really dug a hole for themselves. I'm not sure exactly why, except for their ball control is a little bit lacking, but there's big pressure being put on by the Canadians, and obviously they're feeling it right now. They're just trying to keep in that momentum and try to stay as steady as possible.
Yeah, we played the best of 3 sets, so not saying by any means that this first set is over, but they can always come back. And there is the former New South Wales Premier, Mike Baird, who signed off on the approval of this event last year, and our patron for Volleyball Australia, Gina Reinhardt, who's done some magnificent things and really inspired a whole new generation of people to come to this sport, Kerry.
Yeah, it's been wonderful having Mrs. Reinhardt's support and the Georgina Hope Foundation. It's been incredible, actually. It's really helped pave the way for our athletes to get out on the World Tour, many of our athletes to get out on the World Tour. It's the financial supports help them to do the travel, to pay our coaches, and to just keep them out there and get them the experience they need to get to the Olympics. Of course, we had 4 wonderful ladies in Rio, and hopefully 2020 will have 4 ladies again and 4 men. That is our plan.
Yep.
So
The perfect plan, so let's hope it comes to fruition. Back here, you're watching the gold medal match, folks. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Canada, France, battling it out in the first set. Youssef Crew for France picked up Grant O'Gorman. Scoreboard currently heavily favouring Canada, 16-8. That's going to make it even more lopsided. We go to 21 points, folks. So the first team to 21 points with a 2-point margin wins the first set. You win 2 sets of volleyball, you win the gold medal. It's your anthem that we're cranking out at the stereo later on this afternoon. We've got an afternoon of entertainment down here in Manly Beach. After the gold medal match, we've got a couple of live music acts and then some fireworks. So if you're in the area, you should come on down and catch the last 45 minutes or so of this game and then enjoy the action and excitement afterwards. But Ben Saxton is the action and excitement right now because his defence is off the charts.
Ben Saxton with defence. Normally it's O'Gorman in the backcourt. Ben's at the net blocking, but that time he looked like O'Gorman. I went, who is that? That's not O'Gorman. He doesn't have the hair coming out of the hat. That's Ben Saxton laying out on the ground. So great experience and way to get up there and bang it for a winner. Everything going Canada's way, and now another point for Canada.
Absolutely. Tough serving from Ben Saxton. So France, we talked in the last game about which of the 2 teams that played that difficult middle semi-final would be out of gas, but it looks at the moment the French team are kind of running on empty a little bit at the moment. 8-18, they trail by a long way. O'Gorman is absolutely in the spot and then drills it away. It looks like a training drill at the moment for the Canadians.
He takes the dig and stands there and waits for his partner. No stress. You just put it in the air and I'll just wander in and give it a whack. Makes it look so easy. 19-8,
Canada have absolutely got it all their own way at the moment in this first set of the gold medal match. That is such almost a meaningless ace for Saxton. It's not really going to impact the scoreboard too much at all. For Yusuf Crew and Quincy A, do you fight hard and try and get a couple back, or do you put the cue in the rack and come back a new team in the second set, Kes?
Look, I think that they'd probably just want to maybe side out and then play a point and then get off and refocus for the next part of this match.
Absolutely. Mike Baird knows what's what. He's enjoying the action. Former Premier of New South Wales. Nice to have him down here, but at 20 points to 8, that is danger, danger, danger for... Well, I beg your pardon, that was the set point. So 21-8, the first set is in the bag. So Canada 21, France 8. That is a beatdown in the gold medal match. Canada absolutely rampant. Randy, that is an absolutely stunning scoreline.
Yeah, it's like a freight train going through the tracks. They went right through them with no opposition. No pressure from the French. Maybe they just laid down thinking that there was just too big of a lead, thinking that they can come back and win this second set. But the pressure's going to be put on them, and I know the way the Canadians are playing right now, they're not going to back down.
Well, there you heard it. They're not going to back down. So first set gold medal match in the bag. So we are in the middle of a tense gold medal. Well, tense maybe for the French fans because Canada are in control. Yeah,
they're just making it look so easy. They're not stressed. The crowd there getting excited. Who's going to win a Hello World bag?
Look at the Volleyball Australia staff, hard-working, good-looking roosters, the lot of them. Good-looking marsupials in the case of that particular one.
Good-looking kangaroo right there.
Absolutely. It's a great afternoon. It's a big weekend for volleyball in Australia in this country. Good to see crowds coming in big numbers. Good to see the corporate areas, you know, well filled with people enjoying the sport. Maybe seeing the sport for the first time, that's okay. Let's hope corporate Australia see something they like and maybe jump on the freight train that Randy Stoklos was talking about. The gold medal match continues. We're underway in the second set. It is Canada versus France. Canada have, well, they are one foot on the podium, let's say. They've locked away the first set. We're going to play the second set now, and it is first to 21 again. So for the French combination of Yusuf Crew and Quincy A, they need to do some serious renovation work, or else they are going to be getting that silver medal.
Well, that's a nice play. It was a good set off his knees. Quincy putting that ball up nice and high for Crew, giving him time to have a look around. Not off his knees. Oh, he landed on his knees.
No, nice roll shot in the end. Good look. And as you talked about, Kerry, the light here with the trees and the shade, getting really interesting. The ball will come out of shade and come into the light. So it can be difficult to spot. We've got crowd at one end. You know, there's a lot going on. We don't have side screens or anything. As pedestrian as that, we're all about colour and movement here at the beach. So the ball could be getting a little harder to spot in these afternoon conditions, but it still seems really lovely conditions for beach volleyball down there.
It is perfect. I love the afternoons. It really is a nice time of day to play, especially when there's no afternoon wind. It's just a little bit of a breeze. Right now, I think the French are not liking it very much at all. The Canadians seem so at ease. They seem so confident, whereas the French are really struggling. They don't seem focused.
Almost like the French need to spark a little controversy or get a little emotional, or reef on the net, or get a yellow card or something to maybe light a bit of a Gallic fire, because at the moment looking a little bit tepid at the moment.
Yeah, they're definitely putting the effort in. There's no doubt about that. They're really working hard. But that's almost the difference, whereas it looks like the Canadians are taking it easy.
Well, there you go. And a bit of vocalisation, a bit of a cheer. So, OK, the French boys are still out there. Their brows are creased, though. They're going to get, you know, wrinkles. Why don't they wear sunglasses? They're squinting. But, you know, the Canadian team really, early in that first set, took it away. It seems like there's a little bit of passion there. So the French looking to fire up. They've got to find a way to break through this Canada team, or else the match will be over quickly. O'Gorman going for a lavish cross-court and missing everything, so he really went for a big angle, maybe a bit too expansive, Kerry.
Yeah, so for the first time in a while, the French actually take the lead.
We'll see it here. He's had a good look and, yeah, gone big-time cross-court, which was never really going to pay off. So they've got to be careful not to get a little bit complacent. They've done a really solid job in the first, but the French are absolutely still here, so 4-3. France have got a lead. It is O'Gorman again who'll get a chance to atone for his error at the block. It's all of a sudden a bit of screaming. So we wanted that. We wanted the French fire and the French passion.
It's the passion. I think you nailed it there. It's the passion that they need to bring back into their game, get a few points. And like you said, the Canadians probably sat back a little bit and hoped it would looked easy. Maybe they were just playing a little bit too easy. Things going their way, but now they're going to have to focus in again.
A little bit of a carbon copy of the semi-final when the French team played our Australian combination of McHugh and Schumann. They got pretty much beat down in the first set, 21-14, and they looked not great, to be fair, but then they came back from the second set onwards on a completely new team. So they are, all the evidence I've seen today, slow starters to matches, and maybe that's something they need to think about. 21-8 is a horribly slow start, but absolutely back in this one at 5-4 up. The hard-driven ball, well handled by Gorman, though.
Why is it Gorman's always standing in the right spot for those half-driven balls?
Do not know.
His court sense is incredible.
Oh, a little lifted ball. I think we're going to see the arm, go up. He's saying, I've got this with a nice clean platform, but first referee indicated the ball was lifted or carried. So the unicorn sees all. He knows what's what. O'Gorman, a bit of a unicorn of Canadian volleyball. He's playing a unique style at the moment. Quite delightful. And the block from Saxton. So they're a complete team at the moment. They've got all the answers. The French have mounted a comeback, but they've seen it off, perhaps. Yeah, that's that block from Saxton. So that's all good.
Bringing him in short again. Not ready for the second ball, though. So Quincy really taking the pressure off his partner crew there by taking that second play.
It's going to be Quincy A. 6-all scoreboard, tense times. Crowd a little bit hushed again. They enjoyed the first set. It was quick. It was efficient from the Canadians. It was polite. For those of you watching the machinations of the Commonwealth Games, this might be a team that we might see in the Gold Coast in April next year. Beach volleyball making its debut in the Commonwealth Games next year, and Canada very much one of the really strong Commonwealth nations in this sport, as no doubt you can tell by the fact they're in the gold medal match. So perhaps we're seeing a team that's going to feature heavily on the Gold Coast next year. Looking forward to that, Kerry, immensely.
Absolutely. And these two guys you see on screen now, the guys in black, Canada, they're a rather new combination. Only played a few World Tour events together, just getting to know each other, and looking pretty good so far. They've come a long way for this tournament, as have France. Everybody thinks Australia's a long way to come.
Yeah.
We do it all the time. We go over to their countries, but when they come here, it's such a long way.
Harden up, Snowflake.
But of course they love it. It is better than California.
Well, you've
Apparently, we heard that from one of the Americans.
Yeah, it's a big call. Another nice block from Ben Saxton. So he's got some telling blocks. This last little patch of play vastly improved from Canada, mostly on the blocking of Ben Saxton. Just going about his work quietly, but you see him wait. Not over-committing on the leap, but technically really neat. So that's a good skill. 9-6. This is he with the ball. The team from Canada leading 1-0, as I've said. A 9-6 in the second. Men's gold medal match. And all of a sudden, France have derailed. And they're going to call a timeout. So Canada leap out to a 10-6 lead. They had a little micro-sleep in the early starts of that set, but they're back in control. Stokey, the light getting interesting down there. The game is twisting and turning. How do you see it?
Well, it is seesaw battle right now. Obviously, the French had a run with a couple points, but Neil say the Canadians here reach right back. They went to the well. They're going to the middle of the court, and spreading the game out like this is really benefiting them in quite a better way.
Yeah, absolutely. So Saturday afternoon, a gorgeous afternoon here at Manly Beach. Look at all those smiling faces, these beach volleyball fans, hopefully enjoying the gold medal match on the FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball. It is really great. The corporates are in there, they're well dressed, they're ironed, and enjoying perhaps a nice Riesling or a Chardonnay carry, and enjoying the beach volleyball. Great to see them here in big numbers.
This is Reinhard, Mike Baird. Still enjoying the volleyball as well. Cheering loudly for the Aussies. They were in the previous match, but Aussies didn't make it through, finishing 4th. Now the Canadians are trying to take out this gold medal against the French. The French have still got something in them, though.
Absolutely. 7-10, they're very much still a part of this. Nice, hard-driven cross-court ball. Use of Crew. It will be he to serve for the French. Back to the southern end of the beach, you can see the shadows and the light making conditions really testing, really interesting for both these squads. They change ends every 7 points, so both teams have to deal with it. Ultimately the same. Nice one-arm touch. Crew begging his partner, saying, come on, Quincy, get your skates on, son. Let's go for a roll, but he can't quite get back. There is a long way back, even if your legs are as long as his are. So good desperation. To be fair to Yusuf, he is getting lots of touches. This ball off the one arm, and he's looking at his partner saying, can you? He cannot.
He would have had his head in the sidelines there, in the boards, the sponsor boards.
Been in the front row listening to the music. So 11-7, Canada up by 4. The roll shot, delightful though.
So nicely played. He saw that wide open, but a fantastic set from his partner. Such big hands. He takes that ball. Watch him take it. Puts it up sweetly. Rolls it into place.
Absolutely. Gorman, a despairing lunge, couldn't get it. 8-11, so second set action. Canada have owned this match so far. There's been some nice moments. France, though, are good enough if they can get some momentum. You get the sense with this French outfit is that they are very much a momentum and a motion team. If they get on a roll, things start going their way, they could catch fire. I've seen them play some absolutely breathtaking volleyball, but then they can go stone cold as well. So they need to maybe smoothen out and be a bit more consistent with their approach. See a few Canadian flags. I've got a beret in the crowd. Gosh, something for everyone. It's so manly right now.
We've got a Canadian a flag in our cupboard. We should have brought it down.
Yeah. Oh, well. So there it is. They are in the break. 12-9, the technical timeout. Canada, France.
Still looking very intense, France. They're not going to let this one go without a massive fight. They've got a lot left in them, but right now Canada just looking very smooth, very contained, not too exhausted.
Stokey, it's a nice atmosphere down there, a bit of a carnival atmosphere on centre court. We don't have Randy right now. It's okay. He's enjoying the music. I think he was dancing the Zorba, so he was too busy doing his interpretive Greek dancing. We'll come back to him in a little while. But 12-9, technical timeout at 21 points, folks. When the scoreboard adds up to 21 in the first 2 sets, the teams get an extra timeout, an extra chance to rehydrate and get their head in the game, as it were. So the crowd looking great on the Corso. Canada serving 12-9. Down the line, exactly what you wanted from Quincy. So a little bit of swagger. Just a young man, still developing physically. He'll be a big lad when he grows up, that's for sure.
He's pretty agile for his height, there's no doubt about that. He's very skillful, sees the court really nicely.
6 foot plenty, so very hard to get around. When he blocks well, when he spikes well, he can take your game away. But 10-12 now. French on the left of screen.
Trying to waste some time there.
He's done a lot of that. Yeah, he's a recidivist. He is a repeat offender at time wasting. He gets finally underway with a serve. Saxton will get a chance to do something with it through the block. So for Quincy, he was there, just practicing that push, that last push, that pressure carry on the ball.
That was a big point for France there. If they'd got that one, would have brought them much closer. Had his hands there, but just couldn't execute.
Wow, great up from O'Gorman, really breathtaking, then swings left-handed. Gosh, everything was happening in that point. None of it did I understand, but I do know that the French have got the point. O'Gorman sort of caught almost ball watching in backcourt, did a crazy pickup, and had to swing with his left hand instead of his normal right hand. Couldn't get it done, so France 11-13, still only a 2-point gap, so much closer set than the first set. This time, it's Crew that gets a touch on the block. Second time though, Saxton. He's so poised, isn't he, Saxton? He's largely unnoticed in this match, but he just seems to pop up at exactly the right time.
Yeah, he's a bit like Evans in the American team, just supporting his partner really well. He doesn't see a lot of the serve, but he's there all the time. He gets a lot of touches on the block. He gives his partner great sets, and he can serve aces.
So that's what you get for saying he's been largely unnoticed. He launches into an absolute bomb. 15-11. What a time in a gold medal match to bring that out. Ben Saxton, the Olympian, stands up to be counted from the baseline. That is a really telling blow at an important time in this match. 15-11 now. Saxton again going back to serve, deep in thought. I've no doubt that Yusuf Crew is soaking up all of the available time that he can. But Saxton will not be put off his game.
Yep,
we're ready to go. Of course it was. We're underway again. Saxton from the service line. Well, hats off to Yusuf Crew. He's managed to just maybe break up that little momentum streak that the Canadians had. 12-15. Gamesmanship comes in many forms in beach volleyball. Crew serving now. France trailing 12-15 and more importantly down a set to the Canadians. For that play by O'Gorman just off the top of the block. Crew can't believe it, but his partner's not blowing up. Quincy didn't look at him, so I think that probably tells you everything you need to know about whether the blocker from France touched this ball.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a lucky play. That was probably going out. Who
Just
knows?
Reached out at the last moment, didn't he? Got a little bit over-eager. So 16-12 the score in favour of Canada on the side change. It is Grant O'Gorman putting the French under some pressure with his serve. That's a better play. Little shot down the line. So Yusuf Crew.
He can still smile about it. He knows he's still got a long way to go in this second set. He's not going to let the Canadians take it lightly. That was a kind of hard shot, John.
Yeah, it's difficult to hit that line from over there. Absolutely, yeah. Sorry about that, Yusuf. O'Gorman gets the serve again. The pass is pretty good. His opportunity is there. He gets it done. He just doesn't seem to make many errors, does he? He's playing really solid.
No, you're absolutely right. That's probably the one thing about O'Gorman in the last two games that we've commentated him is he's not made many mistakes at all.
Consistency is important in this game, folks. So 1 set to love, 17-13. Canada leading France. This is coming maybe to the dying stages. For the French, they need to find a way to get this set back under control, or the gold medal will be a red and white maple leaf themed. Maple syrup flavoured, perhaps. I don't know. But for the French, they are in trouble now. 18-13. Canada are rolling on a freight train, as Randy Stoklos described it. He's about to roll through the French attack. Oh, no, that's okay. Yusuf Crew finds a way. It's a bit ragged, but it's enough. 14-18. He's exhorting his friend and colleague, Quincy I. Come on, man, what do you got? I've got a big smile and a swagger. It doesn't necessarily convert to scoreboard pressure, though.
Yeah, but you know what? It's good sportsmanship. It's good to see they're still fighting all the way to the end. They're not dropping their heads. Of course, they'll be disappointed if they lose this match, but they're putting on a great show. They're here to learn, get experience.
That's experience right there. Wonderful play. Ben Saxton, a bit of an unspoken hero. We've been so impressed with the flash and the flair of Grant O'Gorman that Ben Saxton has largely gone unheralded, but he's been absolutely massive. And point number 19 on the board for Canada. 19-14. It is danger time for the French. That was a must-win rally, and they knew it too. So that's a 15-19 scoreboard now. The French dodge a threat there. So 15-19. French putting some serve pressure on O'Gorman. This is a big moment in this match, in this tournament, if you will. And O'Gorman, hard driven off the block. He knows what that means, ladies and gentlemen. 1 set to love in 2015. Grant O'Gorman, Ben Saxton, this wonderful Canadian combination, have got 5 gold medal points, a championship point on the board for Yusuf Crew and Quincy A. It is hard to see how they're going to dig themselves out of this. And Ben Saxton, you have all the right, sir, to ask for support from the crowd. This is the championship ball in your hand. Half expect Ben Saxton to go back and unload with an ace. Half expect Yusuf Crew to soak up as much time as possible to kill the vibe.
And perhaps getting a yellow card, getting told off by the referee.
All good, we're back. Championship point, a gold medal opportunity. Ben Saxton, swing high and free, my friend. It's for the win. And he did, but it wasn't. And they didn't. The anticlimax. You can see the look on the crowd's faces. I think they know maybe it's a formality. 16-20. The referee asking for them to get on with it. Don't get a red card now would be my strong advice to the French. Get on with it is the ask. So Yusuf Crew at 16-20 is going to have to pull off a minor miracle to save Canada from winning this match. French. Sky ball goes up. He's giving the crowd what they want, but ultimately they go out with a whimper and not a bang. They lay down and concede defeat almost, because Canada, Ben Saxton and Grant O'Gorman are your winners in Sydney at the 2017 World Tour of Beach Volleyball. Congratulations to Yusuf Crew and Quincy A on a silver medal, but Kez on the day, and in fact all through the week, Ben Saxton and Grant O'Gorman, there was a lot to like about the way they played the game.
Absolutely, they're great sportsmen, great guys, really likeable team, the Canadians, but so are the French, weren't they? They were really lovely in defeat. A little bit of fun if that sky ball had gone in. It would have been a bit of fun a last rally, but what a great final between these two amazing teams.
Absolutely, and the crowd really enjoyed it. They've come in good numbers. They're here, some live music and entertainment and fireworks after this, but we've seen some sparkling volleyball. Just to report back on some of the other stats, we had a bronze medal match earlier. The Australian team of Chris McHugh and Damien Schumann going down to the USA team of William Kalinsky and Miles Evans. So USA got the bronze. The silver medal goes to Yusuf Crew and Quincy A from France, but the gold medalists, the Canucks, Ben Saxton and Grant O'Gorman, rightfully will stand atop the podium, and they thoroughly deserve everything they got. They played in a good spirit and they played well, and they deserve everything they get. I would imagine my friend Steve Hart is courtside with a couple of crazy Canadian kids.
Yeah, what a performance it was for the boys. A gold medal here in Australia. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. My sister won a gold in Sydney earlier in the year, so I had to make sure that she couldn't be the only one.
Fantastic. And look, we saw plenty of Canadian flags in the crowd too, so you got a lot of support here.
Yeah, Sydney was an amazing place to win my first tournament. I'm just so happy playing with Ben, such a skilled player, and yeah, I'm sort of speechless.
An Olympian, of course, Ben, but an experience like this, Manly Beach, how good was it?
That's awesome. I love the crowd here. There's so many people, nice people around, and the beach is amazing. It's awesome to be here.
Obviously, no disrespect to the French, but you would have loved to have played the Aussies in the gold medal. Disappointed?
They beat us last weekend in the national tour, so we're looking forward to playing them. But hey, a win's a win. We'll take the gold, and yeah, that's it.
Bittersweet revenge. Congratulations, guys.
Dive into the sunset.
High five. There they are, your gold medal winners. Back to you.
Driving off into the sunset, you heard it. Really happy young men, Ben Saxton, Grant O'Gorman. You heard, of course, Ben Saxton's sister did win a national tour, an FIVB World Tour event here earlier in the year in Australia. So Australian beach volleyball tournaments have been rich pickings for the Saxton family from Canada, and good luck to them. The crowd have had a really nice afternoon. They're going to go and stretch their legs. We've got some wonderful live music coming up, and then the fireworks, which I know everyone looks forward to. So really perfect afternoon. Congratulations everyone involved in Volleyball Australia for bringing it together. Of course, Kerry, tomorrow bronze and gold medal matches in the women, so plenty more to look forward to in this FIVB World Tour event.
Absolutely. It's great to have Saturday and Sunday finals and finals, so the crowd, the guys that are on leave, they're going to be enjoying the finals of the best beach volleyball in the world at the moment.
So Steve Hart is now courtside with the silver medalists from France.
Indeed, I am the silver medalist. Look, you're obviously disappointed, but what a tournament for you guys.
Yeah, it was a huge tournament. We had a great sensation. Unfortunately, we are finishing on a loss. They played very well this game. They definitely opened some weaknesses on our game, and thanks to them, because it will never happen, and we will work on it.
A wonderful show you put on for the crowd, and a great crowd. Did you enjoy it?
Est-ce que tu as kiffé le public et tout?
Yeah.
We love it. The French, my French no good, and your English not so good, but congratulations on a great tournament.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Manly.
Back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Manly. Thank you to those guys. They didn't play their best game in the last, but they played some sparkling beach volleyball, and we've really enjoyed having the French and the Canadians and 25 other nations playing in the men's event. But we have only one champion, Ben Saxton and Grant O'Gorman, to the victor the spoils, and they'll be very, very happy men. It's been an absolutely wonderful event. Kez, highlights for you from the men's side?
The highlights were the four amazing Australian teams for me. They're all in top form, perhaps a little bit squeaky towards the finals, but they all performed really, really well. They had tough games. They loved the crowd, but it really does show that 2020, the Olympics, the Commonwealth Games next year, we're in good stead. We've got a really good, strong depth in men's beach volleyball. So really proud of all the boys. And obviously to have them playing against such great teams from all over the world. You know, the reason why we put these events on is so we can get some really good competition here for our teams, for the teams that perhaps don't go on the world tour very often, but also for the juniors to see what to aspire to.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no easy games in a world tour event, and so, you know, for some of the younger guys to come out and see what it takes and the hard work and the dedication and just that next level of professionalism in performance and preparation and diet and all the things. You know, you see these teams, they've lost events or they've lost matches and they're out the next day on the training court training just as hard. So absolutely a lot of role models, a lot of lessons. So hopefully the benefits of having these World Tour events will resonate through Australian volleyball for many years, as you say, inspiring the next nation. It's been absolutely wonderful. So great that we've got the weather, so great that the corporates have come out in big numbers. I hope they reach deep into their back pocket and decide that beach volleyball and volleyball in Australia is maybe something that should get more attention and more support from the corporate world, Kerry.
And absolutely, and now that we don't have the World Series of surfing here anymore, beach volleyball is just going to take its place. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we absolutely love it. Obviously, we're tragics, but you know, the Sydney crowd, the northern beaches, they've come from the southern beaches to see the beach volleyball here. Everybody in Sydney loves it.
So we're actually now ready. We're going to go to the presentation of the President of Volleyball Australia, Mr. Craig Carraher. It's the gentleman on the right of screen, Mr. Randy Stokos, 5-time world champion, on the left of screen. So, of course, the athletes in the middle. So we're ready to go. We're going to give the silver medal to Yusuf Crew and Quincy I. There's a nice Australian-themed gift to go with it. No shame in a silver medal on the World Tour, let me tell you, folks. So Quincy gets, hat off, thank you, son. There you go. Stokey will step in and present the gold medals to Ben Saxton and Grant O'Gorman. I get the sense that Quincy would have loved the way that the Canadians went about their win today. There's a lot to like. So there it is, Randy Stokos crowning the victors. So Canada gold, French got silver. So they'll take it away. Of course, you're always disappointed. You lose that match, you get the silver, Kez. But you didn't lose the silver. You won the silver through all the hard work and effort and achievement to get into that match. You just didn't win your last match. So I don't know. I think you win the silver, you just happen to lose the game. I don't know. It's a tough one. I've never been in that situation.
Yeah, I really like the smiles on the French guys' faces. It says it all. They're happy to be here. You know, thank you, Manly, they said. They've really enjoyed their time here, and it's great to see four really nice guys and you know, four great athletes compete and just respect each other as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The game was played in a nice spirit. Look, I think the giant marsupial has confused the French. I won't lie to you folks there. Unsure if that's full size or not. But for now, the gold medal match, the bronze medal match has been run and won. Saxton O'Gorman from Canada have beaten Crew and A. Congratulations. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the women's medal matches. But for now, on behalf of Kerry Pothast, I'm Jonathan Fogarty. It has been an absolute privilege to bring you the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour right here from Manly Beach.